All you.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to Fast Track to Executive Week 2. Oh my gosh. I mean, for those who jumped on here last week, Lauren, you crushed it and really set the tone for what this vehicle is going to provide, right? And again, we have to drive, right? We have to drive. We have to get in and we have to pick our speed and go at it. So I got some really great stuff for you tonight. The one thing I want you to do is I want you to be present. So whatever you got going on in your life, just detach yourself for a little while you just absorb this information and find where it just serves you. Because again, this information is for you to digest and then you can do with it what you wish, right? So we're gonna get right into it. So tonight I wanna talk a little bit about the IsaBody Challenge. Now the IsaBody Challenge is really something that I hold near and dear to my heart because it's really when that transition happened for me. Now, for those who don't know my story, it took me about a year to really adopt Isagenix. And the reason why was because I was so stuck in significance. And for those who don't know what that means, I was stuck in ego. I was stuck in me. And this was something that was instilled in me as being an athlete, because when you make it to that point where now everybody around you is great, you need to have that chip on your shoulder. But see, in life, that doesn't work so well. And so the IsaBody Challenge is a 16-week challenge, and it allows you to stay accountable. Now, as far as a business tool, we're going to get into the importance of that. But from an individual tool, we must be a product of the product. And now the IsaBody Challenge allowed me to really be born into Isagenix. And it allowed me to step on stage for the first time as an IsaBody finalist. And for those who don't know what that is, this is one of the top 5 spots as being an IsaBody selected, chosen one to go out there and represent for the grand prize. Now, they got a lot of things going on right now. You got the $25,000, but now you got the global grand prize winner, which is $50,000. So now it's starting to get pretty significant. And for those who finished an IsaBody Challenge, kudos to you. When I finished in 2013, there was 770 of us. Okay, this celebration, they announced there was over 10,000 people that completed the challenge. So you see it starting to grow pretty significant, and people are seeing the advantages of this. And so if you're not using the IsaBody Challenge, I encourage you to jump on board just to hold yourself to becoming better, right? And in keeping things trackable. And we know that whatever's measured is going to grow. And so doing your measurements and doing your before pictures, all that stuff is going to allow you the reflection in a measurement tool for you to see your progress. And that's so important. And so for your team, the IsaBody Challenge is a great way to get people started as working together as a group. And the question I like to ask people all the time when they get started is I ask them, is it easier to do it as an individual or is it easier to do it as a group? And as part of the IsaBody Challenge, you're part of a group, the larger group of all of Isagenix and those who are getting started with their transformations. And they have an amazing Facebook group that has everybody posting and keeping the activity high. And so leverage that vehicle, because people that see others progressing are going to be inspired. And there's so many different ways that people can transform, whether it be from a physical standpoint, a mental standpoint, a physical and mental standpoint, weight loss, energy performance, you name it, healthy aging. It's incredible. So use that tool to not only stay on track with your goals, but also for your customers' goals. I mean, this is where people are going to stay accountable. And this gives you a tool as well when someone says, okay, well, what should I expect? And I said, well, expect that you're going to see a transformation in 16 weeks. All right, set the expectation and let them know month by month we're going to work together. We're going to find a way to adjust and readjust as your life transforms. Because we know when we start something new, everything gets thrown at us. Everything. And you're going to be challenged. You're going to be asked the question through the obstacles and things that get thrown in front of you, how serious do you want this? And the IsaBody Challenge is a great way to segue it. And after the 16 weeks, you get a nice little coupon, little t-shirt, little certificate, and you can continue to do that and encourage your team to do the same thing. The BV is going to continue to stay consistent. The average order is going to be much more significant than just someone just grabbing a product here and there, because they want a transformation. They want that $25,000. They want that cruise in the Caribbean. Right? I mean, people want to be recognized for something that they're doing. So as far as that as a tool, utilize it, jump all over it. It's absolutely incredible. And the next tool is our IsaLife app. So how many of you, from a raise of hands, are using that IsaLife app for not only you, but being able to connect with your team? All right. Well, if you're not using it, I encourage you to download it. Start to utilize, the different tools. They got some great training tools that teach you how to use it. And now we have this huge, 2-minute enrollment, which is incredible. And I'm going to be using that tonight, actually. I have a young man that's going to utilize that for the first time. You go in there, you select the different packages that you recommend, send the link, and they go ahead and complete the enrollment. It's absolutely incredible. It's awesome. Awesome. Yes, about 2 weeks left in the challenge. Awesome. So continue to do that. And so as far as the IsaLife app, okay, this is where I think the rubber meets the road. Technology is growing, and people want the ease of being able to order their stuff. Okay, if they got to log into their back office, they got to do a bunch of hoops to jump through. It's not going to be as easy for them to stay on track, especially in that first month. So teach your people how to use it so that they can become, okay, a walking toddler versus someone that needs to have their diapers changed every day. Okay, and from a parent standpoint, you realize how significant that is when you help your people be self-sufficient, and that app really helps them to track their goals. Some people are numbers people. Okay, and people want to track their macros and track their calories. And some people don't like to do that. They just want to see how to do what when. Okay, and so retention is huge when someone can see the progress. I talked to a young lady tonight, and she said, I love this program so much because of the structure. I don't really get involved in the ingredients and all that stuff because I know that if it works, it must be good. But here's the thing, I like the structure. And so teach your teams to get into that app and really, really embody that culture of using that technology. It's huge, and it's going to really help you to kind of keep people on track. The next thing is really, really important to me, and we're going to spend some time in here because this is where, just like I said, when you make a choice, okay, when you make a choice to transform, evolve, change, adjust, things in life are going to happen, okay? And many of us, when we got started, we were so excited. It was almost like jumping out of an airplane, skydiving. And that excitement, you're screaming, and you're so pumped up. You're like, I don't know, am I going to die? Is my parachute going to come out? I don't know. This is great, okay? For you thrill enthusiasts out there. But here's the thing is that when you make that decision, all of a sudden the thoughts start rushing into your head, right? And that fear starts to show up. And so as I bring you through this transformation phase, the Healthy Mind and Body program, which is a 60-day program that's going to help you to readjust some of the habits, right, that are holding you back from the success that you're searching for, okay? We cannot have great success with the mindset that we have now, or else we would already be where we want to be, okay? So if you desire more, you must become more, and we have to go through this cycle. All right, so there's some excitement that goes on there because what if, right? The possibility. And so for many of you, you've set expectations, you know what you want. Now I'm going to bring you through the process of how you're going to achieve it. Okay, and notice I said achieve it because you're going to go through a process of things, meaning your challenges, your obstacles, and your celebration moments, and all those things that you must set your customers up for as much as you. Okay, and so the first phase is inception. That's the excitement, right? That's easy. Okay, that's easy. However, when you get into uncertainty, when those thoughts start rushing in your head, this is where you must manage your disciplined imagination. You must understand how your imagination can run wild. Okay, and you have Faith saying she can't hear anything. I'm not sure. Everybody else hear me? Thumbs up. Okay, cool. Faith, I don't know. Maybe readjust your microphone and maybe log back in. And so as you go through uncertainty, okay, this is where the growth happens. It's just like a plant. Just imagine, if you will, you plant a seed in the ground in a farm, okay, and you watch it uproot through the dirt, okay? During that process, it's now going to be exposed to the elements, the wind, the rain, okay, the cold, the temperature, all these things, okay? And this is important because as we grow as individuals, these are the obstacles and things that are going to be thrown at us. And this is my favorite part, but I needed to learn how to manage my thoughts at this moment. Because we're not going to be able to control our thoughts, but we control what we focus on, all right? And so I want you to think about focus. Where do you put your focus when you're challenged with something? Do you put it on more of the miracle, or do we put it on the problem, all right? And if we start to seek more of that uncertainty, we're going to grow faster than we think because we're going to be able to manage. And as you go through that process, okay, utilize resources, all right? Utilize the fact that maybe somebody went through what it is that you're going through right now, and it's your time to reach out and say, what did you need to believe to continue to go forward? Because at the end of the day, you manage you. You have all of your time. A lot of us started out by giving our time to someone else and saying, just pay me for my time, okay? But as we transformed, we realized, okay, well, we're worth more than that. But making that transition from someone controlling your time or giving that time away to actually being accountable for that time, it's a scary place. Okay, it's a scary place. And so what I'm advising you to do is jot down some of the rushed thoughts. Okay, jot down some of the patterns that you follow when you come across something scary or fearful. All right, like picking up the phone and calling somebody to tell them about an amazing promotion that's going on, even though you haven't talked to that person in 3 months. You know, or reaching out to a friend and family member that you know is so negative they would have to walk into a dark room to develop, and tell them about the transformation you just had, because you know that they could utilize a tool like this. That fear, you know, comes up all the time. But here's the cool thing. If we allow ourselves to embrace that, that may be the very moment that we change someone's life, including our own. Okay? And so embrace that moment of uncertainty and know that that's where we're going to be able to realize that this is the moment that we'll pass our plateau. We'll pass the finish line, which we thought we were only capable of achieving at one point. Okay? And then you'll find yourself into transformation. And so if you look at it like a half pipe, you start here and you start to go into the bowl. Okay? And now you're at the deepest part, you know, of the transformation right here. And a lot of people retreat. They go back up here and they go seek more excitement. They go seek more newness, because this was much easier to deal with because it was new. It wasn't known. I didn't have to have an emotional attachment to it. It was a celebration. Okay? But when we get to this uncertainty point, this is where deception happens. Our thoughts start to race. Our uncertainty starts to seek in, and we start to say, okay, well, can I do this? Right? Can I do this? And the question, right, needs to be, why can't I do this? And you need to jot those things down. You need to lean on resources that will believe in you while you go through that process. And as you seek the other side of that half pipe on the way up, okay, you're going to see transformation. And this is the line right here, right in the middle. Okay, imagine, if you will, you're teetering a line. You're basically straddling a line of what you used to know as yourself. You found that you were able to overcome some obstacles. You were able to adopt some new habits, you know, some change, some new mindset practices, some miracle morning things that you do now differently than you did before as you set up the fertile ground and start to till that soil to get ready to rock your day, okay? And then you see the finish line right there, and you're like, wow, well, what if I just continue to go on? What would happen? And as you get to that transformation phase, okay, that's when you can look back and you can be consciously competent. You can be consciously competent and understanding that, you know what just happened didn't kill me. Why was I so scared to go through that? It wasn't so bad. And as we start to adopt these new habits, jot those things down as well. So now you can reference it, because I'm telling you right now, those fears are going to still come and pop up because they're going to test you. They're going to say, hey, okay, yeah, you made it once, but can you make it again? All right? And so this cycle here is an ongoing event. All right? And it happens in life all the time. And what, as I like to reference life as a series of events and activities that go on, our only job is to manage how we handle them. Okay? And so as you're going through this process, and this is what Healthy Mind and Body teaches you, man. And I love it because I go through it every 90 days myself. I take 60 days to develop, and I use 30 days to go and use those new developments, and I do it again. And as crazy as it is, the same questions get answered differently. And so let me go back. We're here at transformation. We went through inception, excitement. We went through uncertainty and deception. We're now at transformation, and we're seeing the change that just happened. And we're excited about it. Okay, we're excited about it. But you know what? We've built some strength. And now we're on our way to the top of the other side of the half pipe, which is the new identity. Okay, this is when you can become unconsciously competent, meaning that it becomes habitual, it becomes a ritual, it becomes a new belief factor, something that you know now is possible, which you didn't believe before. And just like you said, yes, manage attitude, effort, and emotion. And as things start happening in life, that new identity that you've just created, all right, must be massaged. It must be practiced every single day. This isn't a one-time thing, guys. Okay? As a CEO and an owner of your own multi-billion-dollar company, you are responsible for keeping the A that you just received. You earned that A, but now keep it. Keep that A. You earned it. You are deserving of it. It's your birthright. Okay? All of us to be great. It's our birthright. In the Healthy Mind and Body program, it teaches us how to take each step and internalize it and utilize it, okay? And once you realize that, how powerful that is, and you get that into the hands of your team members, watch what happens. Because we don't all have PhDs at the end of our names. We're not all neuro doctors, and we can't help people get through all the uncertainty that's deep rooted inside of their soul and things that they've practiced and they've been taught and been conditioned to do. We don't got time for that. We don't have time for that, right? But what we do have time for is to believe and utilize the tools. And the Healthy Mind and Body program has helped many, many people to be able to transform and to go to that next level. And as you start that new identity, you start to see that you're able to achieve, and then you can go back again and say, okay, what's next? And so what you learn is that uncertainty place is where you want to live. You'll seek uncertainty, right? You'll seek deception. You'll say, okay, what can I chase for that I was fearful before about, right? And where can I help somebody transform? It's so important, guys. It is so, so, so important. And when IsaGenics adopted and got part of that program is when a lot of people's businesses changed, because we got out of cleanse coaching and we started helping people to utilize emotion. That's natural to us. You know, as Lauren and I get all fired up and we get excited, it's the emotion and the feeling that we feel when we watch somebody take their life from point A to point B. And they did it themselves. They go, thank you so much. And I said, well, you know, yeah, but thank yourself. You were willing to take the challenge. You were willing to go through the obstacles, okay, and go and over and beyond and develop, okay, and develop. And I love how my buddy Keith says it. He goes, you know, at birth, at conception, you had everything that you possibly could ever need to be successful in life. Along the way, we must hit certain checkpoints so that we can get each digit to the combination of the safe, so that we can unlock all that potential. It's right there. It's there. It's ours. But so many people stop at digit 1 and say, you know what? Nah, I'm not really as interested in the digits as I was before. Maybe the combination to the lock, you know, I'll never achieve it. And that belief starts to decline. Okay. And so my vision for all of you is for you to take what I'm sharing with you and go get started on developing in uncertainty, finding where that emotion shakes that snow globe so much that you can't see, okay, that you can't see. And just know, you believe that at the end of the tunnel, there's a light. And it's going to take step by step forward, okay, in that belief factor of understanding that you have everything you possibly need, just to be trusting of yourself and your ability to go forward. You have it. It's your birthright. And that program helps me. And it helps me to develop, and it helps me to understand. And I share it with so many people. And you know what? The sad thing is that for $39, many people would say no to that program. So now, how do you invite people to try that program? We'll ask this simple question. Would you agree that we self-sabotage? And be quiet. Let people answer that question. And that answer is always going to be yes. Some way, somehow, someone has talked themselves out of something that they really wanted. It's that simple. How? How do we manage? How do we redirect our emotion so that we don't sabotage? And ask those questions, and people are like, well, I don't know. Well, you know what? I have a tool, and it only costs $40. What? $40? Yeah, a $750 program, it costs $40. And you know what happens when you finish it? The company will give you a $45 coupon to go eat. How cool is that? Everybody loves coupons. So don't be fearful to share this program, because it will transform people more than you know. Okay, it's great that we have great programs and all those things, but the system is only as good as the driver. Take a NASCAR. If you put me in a NASCAR, I'll smash it into a wall. But you take someone like Jeff Gordon, who is a trained professional to drive a vehicle as fast as a NASCAR is, he'll whip it around the corner and win the Indy 500. And that's IsaGenics. IsaGenics is an Indy 500 car, right? It's fast, it's furious, it will fly, it will do anything that is possibly driven to do. But if the driver is not prepared for it, he'll smash it into the wall, and month 2, they'll quit. So set your people up for success and knowing that they're going to seek uncertainty, and they're going to go through this process, and you know what? We're going to do it together. We're going to get rid of that self-sabotaging thought, and we're going to move forward, okay? And so the next thing I want to talk about is shopping from yourself, okay? Now, someone asked me the other day, he goes, well, what's the benefit of having a wholesale membership account, right? I don't want to get set up on this. I don't want to get set up on that. I go, okay, well, let me ask you a question. If you had an opportunity to be reimbursed for what you're going to do by life anyways, wouldn't that be a good opportunity? And a lot of people don't even realize what that means. They buy from people all the time. And it starts with some of the most successful investors. They only invest in things that they actually buy themselves. right? Because they know that they're putting in something and they're making sure that it's an investment on the back end, okay? And so as we invest in our life, we have to realize that we have an amazing grocery store, an absolute amazing grocery store. And you know what the cool thing is that it continues to evolve. It continues to add more and more to the shelves so that we have more variety, we have more ability, and we can shop from ourselves, right? And that's cool because I actually explained how our comp plan works to someone. And I said, guess what? After you purchase your 100 BV or your 100 points of products that puts you into all of what's possible with this amazing vehicle, right? It unlocks the doors. You don't just have one window that can go down. You actually get all the windows to go down, right? You get to use the AC and you got a nice sound system, right? You get all of the vehicle. And so as you do that, every single point over that, you get paid. It goes into your banks. Remember I was telling you about the 900 points and how you can cycle? All that goes into your points. And you're like, what? I said, yeah. I said, think about it. 100 of it goes and qualifies. Everything else you get paid back on. Oh my gosh. What if you went into your grocery store and said, listen, I'm going to buy just the minimum of what my groceries would be, but I want to get a discount on everything else for the rest of my life. I want to get paid on that. So next time I come here, actually, I can use that money too. The grocery store will look at you like you had 3 heads. Like, it doesn't work out that way. Oh, really? Oh, okay. So that's why I shop for myself more. Okay. And so it's so important. And so educate people about that because people understand the value of wholesale. They understand that. Allow them to reinvest in themselves as we do it from a mindset, right? As we do it from an accountability point where we have a tool like, IsaBody Challenge and the Healthy Mind and Body program. Allow people to now reallocate the money they're already spending and educate them on that. Say, how nice would it be if you can reallocate what you're currently spending and get paid on it and get healthier? Would that make sense? And then next you know, oh yeah, that would make sense. And so as you start to see how all this kind of ties in, we're taking care of the mind, body, and spirit. We're allowing people to grow and develop. If we just tackled one thing, the other 2 things that aren't being addressed will show up and crush it. It will crush whatever was developed. It will gang tackle it, guys. And you'll notice that, in your downline and your cross line and all the people that you're working with, you start to ask them questions, what creates success? And it's all of an individual transforming. And as you see what Isogenics is doing, it's allowing us to have those tools, man. All of the tools of wellness, okay? And allowing people to transform independently. And you'll find people that aren't ready, and that's okay. Stay a hold of them and keep teaching them how to process this. And if you're not finding this as something that you feel comfortable sharing with people, reach out to people that are. Ask the question, who's having success sharing Healthy Mind and Body? Who's having success getting people on the IsaBody Challenge? Who's finding success using the IsaLife app? Okay, who's finding success with that? And then ask them certain tips and certain things that they can do. Consistency, yes, Lori, it's beautiful that way, right? It's the same thing over and over and over again. Stop making it so difficult because they've made it so darn simple. It's so simple. However, the hard part is undoing this part, right? If we were 18 getting introduced to this, think of a different person learning something brand new. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. It's all of the learning that we've done along this way that have made it difficult. And that's okay because it's going to make it special. It's going to allow us.
Air conditioning, did you?
Did I?
I got it. I don't know what happened. I'll get it.
That's awesome. No, that's awesome. I wish I had an air conditioner like right here in front of me.
Hey, I'm going to push mute all again and then just unmute yourself because I don't know which one it is.
Perfect. All right, awesome. So as we help people to transform, here is the biggest factor of all of those 3 elements, okay? It's the belief, okay? It's the belief. And I was sharing with a young man earlier a video that I heard, and it started talking about what people's perception is nowadays, okay? And so what someone's perception is and how society actually encourages people to live is I'm thinking what you're thinking of me. And that's where I live my life. I'm thinking what you're thinking of me, and that's the way I see myself. And the problem with that is that unless you actually understand that you will always have you have to embrace you. You have to understand you, okay? And this is the most difficult part because a lot of us, if not all of us, care so much about people. We care so much about people. We come to this crossroads of where now you start to hear the uncertainty in their voice. And you start to hear the deception set in of something that they've done before, and they've come to a crossroads, and most of their IQ has always hit a 10, and that's I quit. And now, what do we do, right? And it's the hardest thing for us to understand because all we want is the best thing for this person. We understand their pain. We understand what they're going through. And the challenge is that we must understand that they must go through the same cycle that we just went through. And we must start them at a point of asking certain questions like self-sabotage and uncertainty. Like, what do those words mean to the individual? And it gets so much deeper. So create that relationship. It's so huge. You know, I think when I first started this business, I went out and just like a race car out the gate, just flying, you know, talking to a lot of people and going crazy and reckless. And I never took the time to actually settle down and understand and learn about an individual so that I can recommend the right tool. It's so important. It's so important. And as that transition starts to happen, you start to say, okay, it's a slow, fast, slow process. It's a slow, fast, slow process. And you allow yourself, okay, the time to ask the specific questions. So now you can take your experiences, your events in life, and you can plug in the gaps for that individual to understand, like, what if I could show you a way? Right? What if I could show you a process? What if I can show you something that now you can transition from where you are now to somewhere you want to be? And I love the fact that we have all these tools, but unless we ask the right questions, it's not going to work, guys. They're going to deeply dive into their uncertainty, and they're going to sneak away, and they're going to find a way out. Okay? So don't allow someone to get out. Don't allow that, because that's what everybody's allowed them to do. That's why they're in the circumstance, including themselves. You know, pour belief in them and say, hey, you know what, let's try this, right? Yes, we share, they decide, we support. You know, I've used the Healthy Mind and Body program to actually launch somebody getting into a 30-day system. You know, I said, you know what, maybe now is not a good time for you to purchase your products, okay? Now, this is where I've taken it, okay? And many of you may disagree, but that's okay, right? We all have different ways we do this. But if you run into someone who's really in uncertainty, don't say, okay, you can't afford it. Say, listen, how about we try a program that's going to allow you to believe more in yourself? Would you think that would be valuable? How valuable would you think that would be? Right? And all of a sudden, they'll start throwing out some numbers. And I guarantee you it's going to be way more than $39. Way more. Okay? And so if you start to combine the two, right, you say, okay, well, for about $50, I can help you start this process, and I will go through this with you so that I can help you build the foundation to make this vehicle possible. Because you know what? You're right. If I help you to get into this fast car, you're going to kill yourself. You're absolutely right. You know what? Let's start slow here. Let's teach you how to drive. Let's teach you how to drive, because my long-term goal for you is not a $100 PIB. It's for you to order your life every single day, every single month, and say, I'm worth it. That's my goal for you. That's my goal for you. This is just going to fuel you, okay? But if I get you in this car right now, and you're talking as uncertain as you are right now, like, oh my gosh, then we got to start with the Healthy Mind and Body program. We got to go through this program. Can you commit to doing that with me? And you know what? You'll find some amazing, amazing things with individuals, because they'll know now, they're like, you know what? You're right. I need to work on my mind. You know, it's funny. And I had posted, you know, what is your biggest problem area? Right? I don't know how many of you have seen that post. You kind of have the belly and the legs, and you have different parts of the body. And I said, oh, comment on where is your biggest area of challenge. And you know what like 5 or 6 people said? They said, where's the brain? They said, where's the brain number? And I said, holy smokes. I said, I got a solution for that too. I'm going to add a number. It's not just 10 areas. It's 11. And we can point that one right to the brain. And people are like, well, how do you help this part? Because this part is my biggest enemy. I wake every morning reckless. And I start thinking, and I fall myself right into that self-sabotage, and I end up just running with whatever else other people tell me to do because I have no control of this. Think about what you could do with somebody if they have control of this themselves. And they can control their imagination. They can control their emotion. Now put them into a program that's going to fuel them. You'll see massive success. Okay, so find and select those individuals you're willing to run with and bring them through that program. and watch what happens. Watch the light bulb go on so bright that now what used to be so dark is no so bright. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. So I love to see so many faces here, guys. And this really means a lot, because I tell you right now, you're committing to something here that you're going to be able to take for a lifetime. And I'm just scrolling through here because I want to see all these faces. I want to see these amazing, oh my gosh, Danielle, I love it. Got the baby there, nice and cool. Yes, what's up, little man? Awesome, man, awesome. And I love this because we're a community here and we're gathered around each other on a Tuesday night to see how we're going to bless others, man. And we're going to continue to grow and evolve. And I think that's the number one goal right now, is for us to evolve and to grow and to evolve so that we can feed other people, right? We can feed other people. We can help them develop this focus and help them to be able to not only take themselves to the next level, but maybe their family's been struggling for a long time. And nobody's had the courage to go out there and change it. Nobody, but you did. You decided. You said, you know what? I'm going to make the difference. I'm going to be the equalizer. I'm going to change this situation. I'm going to do it. You know why? Because I deserve more. Whatever I got going on right now is nowhere near what I deserve. And I'm going to change that. And as we transform into freedom, and I know we start talking about these elements, okay, of our values in Isagenix. And a big one for me is freedom. It's so big. Guys, freedom is so different for so many people. I once thought freedom was having an abundance of money. And you know what? I was so wrong. I was so wrong because I've made a lot of money in my life. And I think a lot of us have. And you know what we did? We didn't have a good partnership. We didn't have a good relationship with that money. And we let it go, right? We broke up with the money. We divorced the money. We gave it to somebody else. And so as we start to look at what freedom may mean to you, it's important that we redefine it every day. And this is so big because, again, if we don't define and understand what freedom feels like, not what it looks like, what it feels like, we will be lost trying to figure it out. And so it all starts with that feeling. What does freedom feel like? Just take a moment. Just think about that. What does freedom feel like? How would you respond to that feeling? It's so amazing as you start to just embody that, man. Just imagine yourself being so free and everything that comes with it for you. It's so powerful. I look at my 3-year-old and there's no freer spirit. It's incredible. It's incredible. This kid has taught me so much. As I look at his eyes, he has no fear of anything. He will do whatever he feels like doing, when he wants, with who he wants, for as long as he wants, and he has no money. He has nobody giving him recognition. He has nothing but embodiment of soul, of a perfection, a perfect person, right? We have that within us, that freedom. And so define that for yourself and seek that every day for someone else, okay? Because this is the great thing about it, is that if we can help others to see that feeling, that emotion that comes along with freedom in that word, oh my gosh, guys. People will do whatever it takes to have that feeling. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And as we know that may be the greatest icebreaker in the world. Asking someone, what does freedom mean to you? May I ask you a question? What does freedom mean to you? And when they give you the answer, ask them, how much of your day do you have that? How much of the day do you feel that? And take them on a journey. Share your story. Some way, somehow, you have a point of freedom that will relate to them, that will give them that belief, that will help them to understand that belief and that feeling. And as you start to do that, watch what happens. Your day will change every day. The freedom of yesterday will no longer be the freedom of today. Every single day, it will grow and it grow and it grow and it grow. And all of a sudden, you start to see that, you know what? You've always had freedom amongst you, always. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And we have a vehicle. We have a vehicle now that will allow us to be able to share that gift of freedom. Now, people got to go get it, though. And that's the difference maker, that uncertainty part. Do you believe that you deserve the freedom that you want in your life? Do you believe it? Because if you don't believe that you deserve it, then we need to start there. Why don't you believe it? What happened? Who told you that you couldn't have the freedom that you desired? And go back to that point. Go back to that moment with them. You see, that's when you start to evolve, because now you can take your past and use it for your fuel. It's so big. It's so big, guys. Freedom is massive. And as you go back to maybe some individuals that have fell off the wagon, if you will, and circle back with them and just ask them. Just ask them that question. So you know what? When you have some time to chat, I've been thinking about something. I want to ask you a question. What is freedom? What do you feel freedom's like? What do you feel it? What is freedom to you? Let me ask. I just ask. There's so many different ways to define that. What does freedom mean to you? And how often do you get to feel that? What has happened along the way? You know, it's so amazing. And I get excited about this because when you see someone's light bulb go off, you know, you want to keep that light on as long as possible, because someone's going to come along and they're going to put a sheet right in front of it. Sometimes it'll be a quilt, because the sheet you can see, kind of see through it a little bit. Then it'll be a quilt, and maybe sometimes you can still see through that. And then it becomes this steel wall, and there's no light going through that, right? And a lot of times they put it right amongst themselves. And they need somebody to pull them out of that manhole and say, listen, brother, what happened? How did you fall in that manhole? Well, I took a right where I was supposed to take a left. All right, that's cool. Listen, I'm here to pick you up, brother. Let's go back and redefine that freedom. What does that feel to you right now? Because maybe something has come along the way that now has helped you to realize that what you thought was freedom before really wasn't. It was a dead end. So let's go seek that again. And so as I get into the next few pieces of homework, this is important because we want people to hold other individuals in their arms and embrace them. Okay? And we want people to say, you know what, man, I love you, bro. I love you unconditional, man. And I respect you unconditionally, whether you feel that way about yourself or not. Because I realized the value of life is so much more than I ever realized it was, until I realized how important I was, right? And you know how many people would miss me. And so I want to help you. I want to help you to make a difference. I want to help you. I want to lift you up. Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with that? And so as we go through the homework here, I want everybody, okay, to enroll yourself in the IsaBody if you haven't already. Go for that 50,000, man. That's the global grand champion. That's a whole nother animal, okay? And help 3 members of your team get into the IsaBody challenge. Help them. And help them to understand it's a lot more than what you get. It's about what you give by showing your transformation, by showing the courage of saying, I'm committing to something for 16 weeks. I don't know how many people would actually commit to anything for 16 weeks. Okay? I know some people that may have committed by diamond rings and quit within 16 weeks. Okay? And they put a huge investment in there and they were willing to quit that. Okay? So that makes a big difference when someone says, oh, wow. Yeah, actually, I do that every 16 weeks. I do another one. And so get yourself involved in that and get some people with you. Say, listen, let's do this, man. Let's crush these next 16 weeks. And now's the best time. Kids are back to school. Fall's back around. It's time to set some new goals. Get people fired up about that. Say, hey, listen, man, we haven't talked in a while. We got a new challenge going on. 16 weeks. IsaBody challenge. Great prizes. The #1 prize is you changing. What goals you got for the next 90 days? Let's work together on that. Let's do this. And a nice little audio. Okay? And then circle back with them. So big. The next one here is to download the IsaLife app. Okay? It doesn't make any sense not to have that app on your phone. It's so cool. It's slick. It allows you, the cool thing I like too is that if your customer is not having a good day, they can put a little frown face and you'll get notified and you can reach out to them and say, hey, John, what's going on? I like that. Teach your people how to use that, because sometimes they don't really want to talk if they're having a bad day, but everybody will look at an emoji, right? I see more emojis on Facebook on bad days than any other day. So why not, right? Just hit that emoji. You see, if you're ever having a bad day, go ahead and click that frown right there and I'll hit you up. I'll give you some encouragement, right? And then the next thing is help 3 people do that too. You know, if they may be technology scared or fearful, you know, help them. Just let them know. Say, hey, listen, this is a really cool toy. Check this out. Right? It evolves, and it's got really cool images on it. And it takes them through all of the nice little items that we have in our own grocery store. It's sweet. It's so nice. Okay? And then last but not least, have your customers try a new product. I can't emphasize how huge this is. I didn't get it. But then as I started talking to some other leaders, I said, whoa, you're just adding one thing to their ownership? You know, one new different thing? And you're seeing an increase in volume? Wow, I didn't even think about that. And so what I encourage you to do is make a product spotlight, okay, in your groups or whatever it may be. And just say, you know what, today I'm spotlighting the greens. And this month, I'm going to try the greens. Be the one to go first, right? Be the one to go first. I'm trying the greens this week, or I'm trying the greens this month. I'm throwing this in there. Who wants to try the greens with me, right? You're getting a good conversation. I hate greens. Well, why? Well, why? You know, let's talk about that. I hate greens too, but you know what? I heard they taste pretty good. Maybe throw a little hydrate in there. Uh-oh, now we got 2 items. You know, a box of orange hydrate with some greens. It's incredible. I like it as a pre-workout, right? As long as I'm driving to the gym after my nitro. But I'm a little different. I'm crazy. I am an addict to isogenics. I mix things together that, try it. It's fun. So hydrate, greens, it's great. But you're just adding the variety. You're adding the variety, okay? And you know what? Make fun with it. You know, grab. Yeah, right on. Yeah, Rachel, I hear you, man. It's crazy. Like it's just you know, I want more and more and more. It's crazy. But the cool thing about having those ingredients kind of listed out and kind of trying a new product will allow someone to kind of look at something that they didn't know about before. You know, and so encourage your team to spotlight a product. Spotlight a product for a month. And say, this week, guys, we're all going to try this. We're going to try that. And with the oils, I love the oils. I love the oils. What sucks, though, is I have a kitty cat. And so kitty cat, she can't really use essential oils. For those who know that, it kind of sucks. But the cool thing is me and my wife, we lock ourselves in a room. And we just start infusing, man. We go nuts in our room. We go crazy, like a bunch of fiends. It's like, but the cool thing is then, you know, we get to experience that. But use the oils. Use the oils. It's a great way to try some new stuff. And it makes your house smell great. I love, you know, Travis Garza started putting oil all over his house. He started doing his floors with oil. It was nuts. That's a great idea, right? Why not put it into your floor cleaner? Like, why not? What's it going to do? Make a nice lemon smell. Well, not if you have cats, but whatever. So try that. Try to encourage everybody to do a product spotlight. Do something different and watch what happens. It will evolve. And as those things evolve, you help people to find new habits, find new loves of different things. And I tell you right now, man, the greens, and I spotlighted that, for kids, it's incredible. My kids don't even know they're getting all those vitamins and minerals, man. You know, I put it right into their juice. My son loves the orange hydrate or lemon lime hydrate. I throw a scoop of the greens in there, and they take it down. Every day they get a scoop of greens. My gosh, I wish I was 3 years old and I was taking down greens like that. Oh my gosh, incredible, incredible. So I want to open it up real quick. I know we have a few minutes. Anybody have any questions? Anything that we went over tonight? Maybe just, you know, some enlightenment. I don't know. What was one thing that you took away? Let's open it up real quick.
You guys can just unmute one at a time. I don't want to mute the whole line because it'll be like crazy because some people probably have screaming kids in the background. But if you just on the bottom left go over the microphone, you can unmute and then hop out.
Hi.
What's up?
I don't know why it all of a sudden it just hit me when you said, I am a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. And I'm like, damn right I am. That's right. I am. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And I thought, oh, that was really cool. And there was something else. I was watching something and it had something about the ABCs, attitude, belief, and choice. And so when you were talking about belief, that I wrote that back down again. So
yeah. No, it's huge.
Yeah.
No, it's huge, Kathy. And I love that you brought that up because posture is the biggest thing in this business, guys. Posture is so big. And I'm gonna give you a for instance, right? So yesterday I was on the phone with a retired police officer and we were talking and he had a very strong presence. but he was learning for the first time about isogenics. So that gave me a one-up, and I knew that. So he goes start going through all the stuff that he's doing, right? And he goes, well, you know, I'm just interested in this and this and this and this. He goes, what do you recommend? And I said, are you asking my professional opinion? He goes, yes. I said, I recommend that you take everything that you're doing right now and just put that in the closet for a month and try the system. And Mike can contest this because Mike's on this call. And he goes, so let me get this straight. You're asking me to get rid of all of these supplements and all these things that I've been doing, that I've been recommended by all these top nutritionists and all these professional ball players and all this stuff? Yes. Because I can tell you till I'm blue in the face how amazing this program is, but I know that you're only going to believe it if you actually achieve it yourself and you feel it for yourself. Is that fair? So let me get this straight. You want me to take all my stuff and put it in the closet? You asked me to do? And I said, yes. Okay. All right. I'm game. Let's go. And so at that moment, he realized that, you know what? What if? But it only happened because I was willing and I was brave enough to take it on. Listen, if you're learning about isogenics for the first time, I don't care what you're doing right now. It ain't better than what I'm about to share with you. And I know that for a fact. And so my posture is just. And it's the same way with the business.
You don't even
if
know
you're coming to me,
hopefully ends soon.
And you're having a financial crisis right now, right? And you run around the holidays in November and December and you're struggling. I have a vehicle right now that will allow you to make this holiday different. How important is that to you? And that's all it takes sometimes, guys, is the posture, the courage, the belief, the bravery to let people know that John Anderson, Jim and Kathy Coover, Eric Coover, they aren't playing. They put their life into this. Everything that they believe. They're at our event standing on stage talking about belief. They're not hiding behind a curtain. They're out there saying, listen, guys, if you ain't hearing this message, let me tell you again. And so that's the posture. We are CEOs and owners of a multi-billion-dollar company, guys. And you write your own check. Believe it or not, that's scary to a lot of people, man. Everybody wants their time until they're accountable for all their time. And then all of a sudden they want to give 8 to 10 hours away. And then they say, well, can you just pay me for that? Because you know what? I can't figure it out on my own. Posture, guys. Posture. I can't emphasize enough posture. If Jim, Kathy, and John Anderson are still standing on stage, okay, and rocking this thing as if it was just brand new, even though we 16 years later, we got to figure it out. And every person that we find that don't know about isogenics, they deserve to know about it. And we marry the perfect process and divorce the outcome. If we can adopt that process of marrying the perfect process, stay, share, do, if we can follow that and divorce the outcome, regardless of what they say, regardless of how they feel, regardless of what they got going on in their mind right now or what bag of stuff they think they got going on, we wouldn't be talking right now if you thought that that was working. Obviously it's not, and I'm not putting that down. In all due respect, that's cool. But listen, put this in your body for 30 days. And listen, if you love it, I'll show you how to get it paid for. If you don't, I'll show you how to get your money back. Let's go. You game? You down for the challenge? Let's go. Any other questions, guys? Come on, let's get some questions. I know there's got to be something pressing. Yes, Melanie, that's what I'm talking about, man. Who's ready to jump on the phone and make a phone call to let them know what you just heard, what you just found? Yes, I love the eyes, Melanie. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Ryan, what's up, brother? Any questions? Come on now. Someone got a question. Yes, all the way from Hawaii. I love it. Do I even live? Keep you crazy. I love it, man. Just seeing all your faces, man. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love it. And so my wish for everyone on this call tonight, as you just embrace and just take notes and understand how special each and every one of you are, just understand that there's only one you, okay? And you will wake up tomorrow Lord willing, and you'll have to do it over. How do you choose to show up? Who needs you on your A game? Who needs you on your A game? Even when you don't need it. I mean, take a look at Michael Jordan, for instance. He played game 6 of the playoffs with the flu because his team needed him on his A game. He could have easily said, I can't play. And so who needs you on your A game when you wake up in the morning? And adopt all of what you are worth. Know that you are deserving of every single thing, man. And Jim, John, and Kathy have given us a vehicle to allow us to become what we've always wanted. And that was to be free to be me. Free to be me. No judgment. Okay? We get a choice. We get a choice. We have the freedom to make a choice. And we have a freedom to tell every single person that we have to embody this life that we have. We have to. Because you know what? Guys, why not? Why not? And I understand at times it gets hard. I know. But you know what? Make some affirmations. Make some declarations to yourself to say, you know what? If I don't show up for me, who will? Who will? And I talked to a young man tonight who's been in network marketing a long time, man. And I showed him our compensation plan. And he goes, this doesn't even make sense. That's what he told me. He goes, this doesn't even make sense. And I said, isn't it nuts? And he goes, wow, this doesn't even make sense. And I said, I know. And I was so excited about it because you know what? Possibility has awoken the giant. So start with creating those processes. Start with that IsaBody challenge. Get yourself in healthy mind and body because that was the tool that I used. That was the transformation. And I've done it 7 times already. Okay, I've done it 7 times already. And as you develop into that new version of yourself, you know what? It was always there. You just needed to believe again. You needed to get out of your shell. You needed to get out there and believe that you are the one. You are the one. And as we unite, I tell you what, man, we're going to change a lot of lives, people. A lot of lives. And just make that choice. Make that choice that you are the one, man. That is it. If I can have you take anything away from this whole thing that we talked about tonight, is that you are the one. You deserve it. If anybody asks you why are you doing that, you say, I deserve this. I deserve this. And I'm going to build my freedom. I'm going to build it from the ground up. And if that doesn't hit home, this fact that I heard the other day, okay? This fact I heard the other day. By 2020, 50% of the world's population, 50% of the world's population will be building an additional stream of income. Whether it be Airbnb, whether it be Uber, Lyft, or some network marketing company, they will be building it. You can go to your neighbors down the street and every other house will have something going on in addition to what they got currently going on. And I can guarantee you, if it's not your team, it's going to be somebody else's team. So do them a favor and allow them the opportunity of what we have as this gift. Because you know there's a lot of garbage out there that swears and promises a whole lot. And people will try it because you know what? They're desperate. They're desperate. Get out there, share this gift with as many people as possible because they deserve it. And if they ask you why, say because you deserve it. And what is it going to take for you to feel that freedom? That's all I got tonight, guys. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
So good, Aaron. So good. I put the homework up just so you know, and the call takeaway things. But for everybody who's still on here, Isagenix just emailed out. It went out tonight. The Capture the Essence tour. And so if you guys aren't familiar with this, instead of especially because you just said something about like companies have garbage, I just wanted to touch on this. But Isagenix is very aware. We can really thank the Field Advisory Board and Christina Swift for this, that at the end of a long day, the last thing people want to do is go sit in a conference room or a hotel room and listen to a PowerPoint presentation. And so they're calling the Capture the Essence soirees. They're doing all these different cities, and look at them, you guys. There's so many, like coast to coast, and they're going to be at coffee shops. They're going to be at boutiques. They're at wine bars. They're at rooftop patios, and no PowerPoint. It's like literally sampling the products. People are talking. They get apps. They get a drink. And look at just look at the schedule, look at Isagenix events, and then they're calling it Capture the Essence Super Saturdays. And so Keith is saying it's 150 cities. Yeah, there's a lot. Colorado is doing 2 in Fort Collins, 1 in Denver, 2 in the Springs, 1 in Boulder. Like just in Colorado in 3 days, we have 7. So definitely look at them. And then the Super Saturdays, there's a whole bunch too. Like Laura Stevens is on the road, Trudy Maples is on the road, Lisa DeMeo is on the road. I mean, some of the top earners that if you guys want them to get the culture and be around this energy and the vibe and get trained, the entire training, you guys, is 3 hours of business building training. There's no op meeting. There's no product training. I was on the call that reviewed the program. Lori was as well. But it's Disney, the comp plan, and Say, Share, Do. The whole thing is leading with the business. So get your people there. You guys want to go. I mean, look and just say, like, oh my gosh, I have a team in Tennessee. Is there a thing in Tennessee or Florida or wherever you guys are? Because they're literally 150 cities. They're all over, and they're coming up in the next couple months. So
jump on it, guys. Jump on it, man. So many people are begging for something, man, and they're going to do it. 50% of the population is going to do it anyways. So do them a favor. Give them that gift. Give them that gift. And when they're ready, they're going to rock. And so I wish everybody a fantastic night. Let's rock this week, guys. Let's really be a blessing to as many people as possible. Let's turn it up. Fast week to executive. Let's rock it, goes. Let's go.
let's go.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So good, Aaron. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Is there a cost to those Super Saturdays?